For me, it was clear that I actually always wanted to have a company, and actually the PhD was a tool for doing this. So, and during the PhD, fortunately, you joined. I convinced you to do the master thesis in my group.
Yeah.
And you did an excellent job. We had the first lens, and actually we realized at that time that there is a real business opportunity. So I was very happy to see this, because I talked to you for a long time, and we were thinking about making a company to build displays and crazy things like that. What's actually pretty difficult, and now actually we serve the display market in a different way.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? No, but the lens looked interesting. I mean, we just said cameras. There's billions of cameras. The lens is a vital part of it. It's going to be interesting.
For me, it was very clear we had a very interesting technology there in our hands. We were students, so
we
no commitments. No commitments.
We were naive enough not to know all the problems, and I think that's a big part of making it happen, right?
Would you still do it?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. Good.
You would probably, we would do it quite similar. We maybe would shortcut one or two of the mistakes we made, but in the end,
But I don't regret anything, to be honest.
Fail fast, learn fast again.
You have to go through those exercises.
Yes,
of course.
I mean, at the time, we were young, we had no responsibilities, and my mom, she was like, "Why are you quitting your consulting job for a startup?" And I said, "Well, it's nice to do slides, but in the end, I want to do stuff that works." And so engineering is still at heart, and you basically design something, you solve a problem, you build it, you ship it, you can look at it, you can touch it, and it was a good step in that direction.
And for me, it's actually was always that I wanted to build a company that provides secure jobs, because I still remember when my father actually lost his job, and that's something that for me was very key to build a company. And I think we had the best education that you could get in the world. We had the technical education, we had the business education, and who if not us? And we didn't have anything to lose, and I think it was
now or never.
Very right.
Take the chance if you have it.
Yes.
We were students. We wanted to do an interesting job, I guess, all of us. And then I think with the technology, we had something there which was kind of something really proper. We can do something good with this technology. It's not kind of building rockets or armor or something like that. So it's a clean technology, can enhance people's lives, can be used for medical applications. So really to support people. I thought that was a very good kind of starting point for us.
Yeah, discovering all the applications that pop up everywhere. Like, it's being a component supplier is great. You have a technology, and people come to you with all kinds of questions, and they need answers to all kinds of problems. And I think the best is if you can actually solve a real world problem with your technology, and then you see it go to market, you see it works, it makes somebody's life easier. And even better if you start to be, well known for that. So our vision is basically being the solution of choice for optical systems that require light control. And that's, I think, where we're heading towards.
And for me, it's, I believe that we have so good engineers that actually dare to solve problems that others, don't even dare to tackle. That like that, we can really create unique solutions that are not in the market now. Mm-hmm. And I think this is one of our strengths, and I'm very proud of this. That by now we actually have solved multiple challenges that others have failed. and we have now a whole series of different products that are really solving problems. And I mean, what I'm the most proud of is when once one of our key customers actually went to us and they were like, we even didn't look around for other solutions because we know you as a company. We like your product and we like your other products. And we just took this one and actually implemented a new system using this. And for me, this was great. And in the long term, I mean, I hope that, and I know that we will achieve this. That everyone that needs actually components for light control, that they will think about Optotune. Just come to visit us, and that we can actually provide them very good solutions. So for me, this is something that I'm proud of, and I'm actually envisioning in the future to even have more and more.
Yeah, the technology gets better and better, solving more and more details for all these different applications.
And I mean, actually, it's amazing in the past what we were able to sell with the knowledge we had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first XPR demo barely moved. It moved, okay, but
It's a lot of
somehow
noise.
that was selling, with a little demo. But nowadays, you go in there, you know what you're talking about. You say, we've done this for 5 years. We understand how to design, how to manufacture. We can offer a reasonable cost, and then high quality. It changes a bit the way you sell if you come over as an expert. And I think we're clearly experts in the product lines that we've
Yes.
been in for all these years.
Well, I still remember this customer we had in 2008 and 2009, kind of a strategic partner in the mobile phone industry. And I remember when we actually went over to these guys.
Well, they flew us over to Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Picked us up in the limo.
We met Angelo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the whole money that we initially had was as expensive, as much as the tickets that they bought for us. So they organized business class tickets.
Did we hand them in and get money back?
Yes. You flew
Used it for
in
the
economy and got back, I
Yeah.
think, I don't know how many thousand Swiss francs.
And I think it was for the milling machine.
Yes, exactly, yes.
And I remember well actually where you were showing this lens there, this ERP lens. They really took it over the
Oh yeah, is it reliable?
tables corner,
It's like-
reliability testing.
Well, I'm sure the table still has a little
hole in it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, another key milestone was actually when we moved to this building here in Reckwischhof in Dietikon. It was 2011, and I still remember that half of the floor space was empty, and put actually quite some pressure on us to perform because before we were like the empire in a safe environment, and this was first time that we are actually a company out in the wild. And for me,
How are we
this
going
was
to fill all those empty
yes.
rooms?
Standing on our own feet, yeah. That was a big step again. Yeah.
But actually, I think it was very important because when customers visited us, they realized that this is a real company and not just a startup. And we have achieved lots of milestones. I mean, we have clean rooms here. We have production in Slovakia. This is quite nice. I mean, I visited last time Slovakia, and I was personally impressed myself by how professional it actually is.
When you compare it with
really
the
cool.
first step when we went over there, kind of in this industrial corner, industrial area there.
Coburgova.
Yes.
What was the name?
Coburgova.
Yes.
But I mean, generally, this whole XPR project, where we had to design a complete product, a technology plus a product within 12 months, plus build a factory, get everything ready for manufacturing. And I think everybody remembers December 7th, 2017, right? This was the milestone date. We had to ship our first 2,000 units. And we hit it. One of the only projects that finished on time, actually, but it was of course intense. I mean,
It was the Texas Ranger, which gave us a little bit of pressure. So I think
Yeah.
18 must now work on it.
that was we flew in the A team, yes, multiple times.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was I think for me one of the biggest milestones.
Yeah.
And I mean, now when you see, what kind of customers we can work together with, it's actually quite cool to see, but not just on the XPR, but also on the lens side. I mean, there are projects that are really exciting. And for me, to have walk into some of those customers and know that they actually do business with us, and this is for me personally, it's every time a milestone. Because I still remember, the early days where we were like the three of us in one little office, and now we have a whole team and working with the biggest customers possible. And of course, I mean, one milestone was also, I remember that the first mobile phone that actually used our technology, because this was 2021, and I think we have been working for this for 13 years.
15 years.
So it was a long time that it took actually to mature the whole technology, and to have this in your hands.
Yes,
for me,
we
was a
did
big
it.
thing.
Finally.
And everybody was logged into the launch event, waiting
Yes.
for the news on liquid lenses.
And they actually delayed the launch event by 1 day. So first we were completely desperate
Very
and
nervous.
disappointed.
What's going on?
So fortunately, the next day they launched it.
Well, clearly the toughest time was when we lost the project, a big mobile project in 2016. I mean, we thought we were kind of on a safe project. It was running, but then our customer had some issues in his core business, and all of a sudden they said, no, we're going to refocus, and it dropped from our budget dropped from like 4 million NRE to 0. And that was when you were just on the mobile, the contact lens, right, project.
Yes,
so that's made up for about 3 million of the 4. But
That was
still,
perfect timing.
Yeah, it
actually,
was-
without that,
it was
would
lucky,
have been
but
much more
we
difficult.
we
Yes.
still had to reduce from about 60 at the time to 50 people, and that was tough. It was the first time we had a layoff. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, for me, this is always super tough. And I still remember, the evening before we had to communicate to the team, and I didn't really sleep well. This is, you think about how the people will take it, what will they do afterwards. But, it was also a learning that at the end you have to do this, because it's your obligation towards the team members that stay to make sure that the company can survive and actually the company can afterwards grow again. And I'm very happy that actually we did this learning and actually managed to grow the company. So it's proof that at the end it was a decision that was painful but necessary. And for me actually, what is funny about decisions is I remember at the beginning, our biggest discussion that we had was investing in our milling machine. And this was like 10,000 francs. It was half the money that we had. And
Different kind of
at that time,
discussion,
this was a huge decision and a very important decision.
Yeah.
So the size of decisions actually changed.
All these investments at the beginning was quite big in relation
exactly.
to the company size. I mean, complete museum at EMPA had to be installed with equipment, lab equipment, stuff.
But what I'm very happy that we're still there to take risk. Even after so many years, we're still, I feel that we have the entrepreneurial spirit and there to go into fields that are risky, but at the end, so far we most of the time got the reward.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about this.
sometimes you have to try more than once.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think the most important thing is the people. At the end, we have a very, very strong team in many different areas, interdisciplinary team from all over the world, speaking different languages, including women in engineering jobs. I think that's also great.
Yes.
I think the people, that's probably the one topic where I'm most proud of.
I agree that the team that we have is really cool, and I like to see the different cultures, and it's a lot of energy actually.
Yeah.
And what I'm actually also very proud of is that we as a team are working, and we as a company are also working as a team. And it's not just here in Switzerland, but I actually also see that there's really tight collaboration between the teams in Asia, the team in Slovakia, here in Switzerland. I mean, we have so many people, that travel here, we go there.
It works.
This is fun. Yes.
Yeah, you still manage to have this startup spirit where you talk to each other, you can walk into each other's offices, not thinking in departments. I think it's pretty good for the size that we're at.
Yeah.
True, yes. I think this is something that we have to make sure that we continue. I really like this, and I believe that with the team that we have, we can actually continue having a company where we work together.
And I think on the customer side, we can be very proud about the lineup of customers. I mean, there's several market leaders. And what I think is actually what makes me proud is that these customers, when we don't win all of them, of course, we have to accept that not everything works out, but the ones that sign up for Optotune, when they go into production, I mean, this usually works. I mean, the quality is there, we deliver, and actually I can maybe think of maybe one or two customers that we lost in all this time, and there's dozens which are on for years and years and just keep going. I think that's it speaks of quality and also the value that we create with our customers.
So we developed the technology which really works. Seems to establish and works in a long-term manner. Yeah.
And what I'm proud of is that with many of those customers, we started with the lens, and now they are actually using many other products. So it's not just that we are one trick pony that can do one thing, but actually we manage
quite a big spectrum of different products.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
In the first year, you two were employed by EMPA. You were on a project, and I was the Optotune sole employee without any income and nothing. Fortunately, we then got some seed funding.
Yes.
That was good. But
that was actually all the prizes that we won. Was a nice experience. Yeah. It was good that you were the consultant. You knew how to make slides.
Yeah, but I think the slides. But the slides were nice. But in the end, when you stand there and Dr. Aschwanden says this is going to work, that's when people were like, yeah, that's going to work. It's going to work.
You remember John's eye, the office. Nose in US.
Yeah.
When you took the lens, you really took it over the tables and chair. It was
destroyed the table.
I mean, he was very convincing, I must say. Like as a youngster, I mean, we still look young, but at that time we looked incredibly young. And I think giving confidence to investors or customers, it's not obvious. And actually, I wonder how these people could bet millions of dollars on us at that point. But somehow the value proposition was there.
Yeah,
and we delivered. I mean, when we got the first project, I think we had half a year to actually build a complete camera module, and we didn't have a team. That was quite a challenge because we had like 4 weeks to hire 8 engineers.
I think we hired 10 people in 3 months, roughly. Yeah. That was good.
I think the big advantage was also the technology itself. So you really could take these lenses and turn around and you watch through and see actually what it's doing massive effects. I think that was also very much convincing.
It's a lens. We knew nothing about optics. I mean, you
look back,
you built the lens. I mean, the first demo was a Logitech webcam. We ripped apart. It was VGA resolution, and we replaced the fixed lens with one EAP-based liquid lens. And I mean, the image quality was terrible, but somehow it focused, and that was enough to get the ball rolling.
Do you remember this tiny little kind of room down at the EMPA?
Yes.
Where the milling machine was standing, where this lens was manufactured. That was the clean room.
The dusty clean room.
Where they work with carbon black, the most dark material you can have.
A lot of noise, and nitrogen bottles somewhere in the corner. It was less than 9 square meters.
Yes, I know.
And no room, no windows, one door.
Yeah, that was pure R&D.
That was pure R&D.
To the core.
Today we're simulating the hell out of each lens, and we know exactly how to build these things. And at the time, I remember we were at the blackboard or whiteboard. We were trying to figure out how voice coil works, and we were standing there like, wait a minute, current. Like this, maybe the magnet like this way, and I don't know.
That's good that we are engineers, huh? Electrical engineers.
2 electrical engineering,
Yes.
good graduates, and we were like, how does this work? And
Today we're challenging our applicants with the same questions.
I know, yeah.
Yes.
So we wouldn't pass our
We
interviews.
wouldn't pass.
Oh, that's a good question. Would you hire yourself?
Well, you just
Hopefully. Yeah, I also remember that, when we won the Swiss Economy Award, you got your special trip from there with the helicopter.
Oh, that was huge. We were in Interlaken. It was the prize giving of the Swiss Economy Award, and we were all on stage and had to kind of shake hands and stuff. And then we were kind of done with the questions, and then I got off stage, and like immediately some person comes to me, Mark, come with me, please. And they took me to like a limo that drove me to some place. And what's going on? And then they drove me to Baden-Belp, the airport. And then I was like, whoa. And I knew, I was like, okay, this might be, and then it was like my bachelor's party, and Jörg, our first sales guy, he was a pilot. He showed up, with his Ray-Bans and his glasses. He was like there and got the key to the airplane. He flew me to Zurich, where we handed over to the other colleagues who then took me on a trip. That was huge, and I think you actually asked him to come back from a sales trip one day early to make that happen. No, that was grand. That was really big. Yeah. Yes.
Actually, also the party after this prize was very nice on the lake.
Yeah.
We should do this more.
Party on the
lake.
lake.
With the family. This was really cool.
That's good.
Yes. So I still remember our first trade show. I think the 2 of us went.
VZW.
Yes, we were invited by the Swiss company, and it was the Optotune, and we had one little corner on its booth.
We were there.
Yes, and I think we won the first distributors, and actually we sold 2 or 3 units. Do you remember how many units we sold in the first year? I think in the first year it was like 2 or 3. In the second year it was 8 products. I still remember.
Yeah. 8. Okay.
The first time we were explicitly at Optotune exhibiting, I remember some guy came and says, "Can I take this with me? I'm going to pay you in cash." And he actually...
The Indian guy.
Yes, the Indian guy. And then I didn't even know what price to say. I just said 400 euros, and he paid it. And we went out and had a good dinner from our first, it was an ML he bought for 400 euros.
Yes,
Crazy.
I remember. Yeah.
No, but the trade shows, they have changed. In the early days, everybody was showing up at our booth. We had small booths, so it was crowded. We had like a whole huddle of people around the booth, and everyone was, oh, what's this? Somebody told me something new, so a lot of interest. I think we brought home 250 leads or something, and we were like, wow, this is crazy. Of course, not everybody bought the product, but it was like new, right?
Interest.
And I think if I see today, we have actually less leads, but the point is, you talk to people for the second time, they just come again, and they already know a bit your product, so you're much more specific, you're more about the customer, less about yourself, and you really go more deep, and you start to feel that our brand is there, people return. It's really changed in these years.
Yeah, and I mean now also, like when we go to the shows, it's much more professional. I mean, it's the booth layout, all the products that we have. I mean, also the demos. I like them. I think one of them we have almost 10 years by now. Actually, the turntable
still turning,
still working.
Still turning. Actually, I'm not even joking when I say this turntable was calibrated like 8 years ago, and it still works on the same calibration. The lens is still good, And generally speaking, I mean, our products at the beginning, you're not really sure how well it works, but in the end, what we sell, not a lot of products come back once they're designed in. So I think we have a pretty good.
So the customers come back.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but the trade shows are always interesting. I mean, we should actually have more of the engineers joining.
More. Engineers, welcome to join. We go to San Francisco.
Trade show of engineering being present at these trade shows.
We go to San Francisco once a year. There's always a Wednesday evening in the piano bar, which is a lot of fun. It's basically karaoke for optics geeks.
Yes, exactly.
they made us dance at that show actually. When we won the first Prism Award, 2011 for the speckle reducer, we were the only ones who showed up without a suit. We were in white shirts, no suit, and we went to piano bar, and I think we did Village People, YMCA,
Exactly,
something like
yes,
that.
yes, I remember.
No videos?
And all these people still remember.
So,
Yes. Yeah, you know, when you look at the optics industry in Switzerland, you know, we started out very small, and now we are, you know, one of the major players actually in this industry.
with the new technology.
Yes. And I remember, you know, many people actually came and said, oh, Flüssiglinsen, yeah, people tried this already, it doesn't work, and you'll never achieve the quality, you know, that actually it will be useful.
The
Never
first
give up.
electrical engineer, 2008, with some first prototype, we went to Zeiss in Oberkochen. I mean, bunch of people with their suit, you know, and their cardigan, and all PhDs, and I had no idea about optics, and they tried to find all the mistakes possible in that product, right? They would ask about all these aberrations that I didn't quite understand, and all these mistakes you can do, and then I'm like, okay, write it down, you know, I'll get back to you. And I mean, now, like, you know, 15 years later, we can go back there and say, you know what? We understand your questions. Here are the answers. We've solved temperature. We've solved transmission. We've solved gravity. You know, and we have a lens which is now as good as it needs to be for a microscope. And I think that's where it gets exciting again.
Yes.
Probably it's exactly these moments which make you grow the most. Really, okay, that's not really a big wall of stuff.
Yes.
But you see it, and you can address it.
And also, like when I see every now and then, you know, from Japan, there's like our distributor, he translates his material. Our Taiwan office translates in Chinese, and then you see advertisements in Korean, Japanese, Chinese, and they talk about your technology, and it really looks global at that point. It's
actually very nice to have the team actually also there. You know, I mean, they are always super nice, but also they're very key actually for our success, because without our Taiwanese team, the company would look very different. I mean, we would never have sold so many XPRs, and that actually gave a big boost at a very critical time.
Yeah, that was a good decision, and happy to expand on the other parts of the world.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. My advice for everyone that just joined is don't take things too serious. Things will go wrong, I can guarantee you. And you know, just be honest, be open about it, and it will be okay. That's how it is when you actually are at the front of technology, and you're at the front of you know, changing the world, and just accept it and enjoy it, and keep on going. If something like that is happening, and always be respectful with your team members. I think, you know, live our core values, then you will have a good time.
And I think it's also the big challenges which make you grow the most. So if you have just low hurdles, it's okay, but the big hurdles make you really jump and fly high.
Yes.
And makes you proud in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think I would recommend to really, you know, keep the vibe, the spirit that we have going. I mean, Optotune is going to grow, but now we're 250-ish, and I think the spirit is good. We talk to each other, we know each other. I would keep that up, and, you know, not become a political company. That doesn't.
Yes.
Innovation cannot happen if you're too political. You need to do those failures. You need to push and you know, try over again.
Yeah, that's a good one. I agree. Yeah. I'm sure that you know, Optotune can become a company with more than 1,000 people, become the real leader in the field of light control of you know, what we are doing. And at the end, I also expect, you know, that we will be at the front of innovation also in the long term. I mean, I'm 100% convinced that we have the right genetics of actually making new things that no one has done before. So
Yeah.
we will never be the follower, we will always be the leader.
Pioneer.
I'm certain.
No, I mean, if you look on the components can do so many things. I mean, optics is everywhere, and you have now 4 product lines and all these markets, and each day somebody has another idea.
Yes.
So I think there's going to be more combinations of markets, components, and in the end we can also add more value on the system side. We can go into selling systems, adding some electronic software to those systems. There's still a lot of things we can do, definitely.
And for me personally, and I'm sure for you it's also the case, I want that it's a place where people like to work, they come happy to work, and at the end they have a feeling where they can really contribute something. Mm-hmm. So for me, this is an important part besides of the business, to really create a workplace where people are happy.
Combining with stability and
yes.
operational
yes.
stability.
Yes, quality.
Quality, yeah.
Yes.